$2 million. And this is going to be the third sale over $2 million in Kleinburg in the last 60 days. Good morning, it's Steven Zalunardo here with Remax West Zalunardo Associates. Another great week in real estate. We sold 4 units going into the weekend, which is amazing. We took another 3 listings last week, and then we signed up another 2 going up in the next week or 2. Actually, one's coming up today, and then there should be another few coming the end of the week, and then maybe one into next week, which is awesome. I want to talk about one story. I just sold a house, a beautiful home in Kleinburg. It was a sale over $2 million, and this is going to be the third sale over $2 million in Kleinburg in the last 60 days. So it's definitely a very, very tough sale because of why? Because of the amount of inventory in Kleinburg right now at that $2 million range, and also just under the $2 million range, plus naturally trying to get approvals on over a $2 million house is pretty difficult with banks today. So definitely you're going to have a limited amount of buyers. But I want to show you our appointment log. So I'm going to give you an example. So this is our appointment log with Remax. This is, I just kind of scratch out the names, but these are the people that are showing. These are the dates they're showing. If you kind of look here, March 3rd was the first agent that showed, and this is the agent we did the deal with. So basically it took me literally 45 days to get this buyer and buyer's agent to a price that was acceptable to my clients in order to get this deal done. So basically from the initial offer presented to the end date was I had to take these buyers and the buyer's agent up $300,000. And it's a 45-day negotiations where, like I always talk about today's market, it's about perseverance and agility and just confidence in knowing what you do and knowing the product that you're selling. So basically, if you kind of look at this, definitely an uphill battle. Why? Because the neighbors, direct neighbors sold for $2,070,000 last year. The house was a little bit smaller, but not that much to make a big difference in price. They sold for $2,070,000. I sold across the street for $2,050,000 last year, same time as the other property, but we were backed onto the Highway 27, which is naturally a busy road, creates a stigma to the property. The lot was short, didn't have no ravine, nor conservation, nor a walkout. So that's the way Rosehaven sold these houses when they did sell them in 2015 was if you were on one side of the street to the other, the same house, it was a $250,000 upgrade. So same house, on one side it was $250,000 less, and the other side it would be $250,000 more, which is now where this current house that I sold is sitting on. So last year there's been a lot of butchery on the street where I found full fair market value for the particular property backed onto the highway, and then across the street sold for $2,070,000, which on a conservation, just like logically, you should add about $200,000 to that in order to get that sale price. You just got to fight for it. And not to mention the house down the street sold for $1.6 million at 4,200 square feet, which is it's doesn't even make sense to me. So basically, this was an uphill battle. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill in order to get people to understand the pricing. And even with this realtor that came in, I had to educate him. It was a constant communication via text, via email, via phone conversations, endless conversations actually, and not to mention in-person meetings where he came in and we did an in-person comparative market analysis showing him why he has to pay the certain amount of money that we're asking, and had to sort of eliminate all the past sales in order to kind of rebrand this property and get this thing sold. My goal is to make Annesley Wood great again, because at one sale at a time I'm going to take this whole street up to where the current value should be. And that's pretty much it. So that's the story from going into the $2 million sale from last week, which is awesome. And so we sold 10% more than the adjacent neighbor where we share a fence line in 1 year in the same market where there was no improvements in appreciation. So definitely a win for us here at the Zalunardo Associates team. So that's that story. Talking about inventory. So last week we had 17,382 units available for sale. This week exactly the same number, just off by 2 or on by 2. 17,384 units. So basically inventory stayed the same. Going into the holidays, realistically, you're going to have a lot less people listing. But the good news is in the last 78 days, we had 1,478 sales. And if you kind of look at me going into the weekend selling 4 properties, there's a direct correlation to the way inventory is moving, which is in a sale position right now. So there's no magic to it. It's all about timing. It's all about positioning. It's all about positioning the property on the market to make sure it gets viewed and getting it sold for top dollar. That's our goal for sure. That's pretty much it, guys. Have an amazing week, and we'll talk soon. If you have any questions, direct message me here on Instagram or call me direct at 647-962-4372. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Ciao.